culture is very, very important. I feel that it's our biggest competitive advantage.
I love that. I
You
love
know,
that. Yeah.
Our competitors can steal our products, our services, our employees. However, they can never steal a great company culture.
I love that,
And that's
yeah.
something within Giordano that we are really proud of.
Yeah.
This is Challenger Brands, helping you build better brands and businesses. Hosted by Illustrado, the brand development and creative agency for ambitious and audacious challenger brands.
Welcome to another episode of Challenger Brands, where we help you build better brands and businesses. It's a very interesting topic that we have today, but let me preface it first. According to a Harvard Business School professor, Clayton Christensen, 30,000 new products are launched each year, and 95% of them fail. That's huge, right? So in an increasingly cluttered market, in a noisy world, how do you actually keep your brand and your business relevant through the years, right? It's so difficult. Everybody's trying to do so many different things. Social media is so busy. So I'm hoping that our special guest for today will help us answer that question. Welcome to the show, Ishwar.
Thank you, Lalaine, Mon, and
it's-
everybody else.
It's a pleasure to have you with us.
Same here, and it's a pleasure to see how I can share the knowledge that was acquired from the experience gained, and now a little wisdom to everyone.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But let me introduce Ishwar to everybody. Ishwar, I would always say, is a retail legend, right? You know, there's no other way to describe Ishwar. Retail legend is the phrase. And he has over 46 years of experience in retail and brand management. He's the CEO and managing director of Giordano in the Middle East and a member of the management committee of Giordano International Hong Kong. Ishwar is also a founding member of the Middle East Council of Shopping Centers. And I know that Ishwar, under your leadership, and with the global presence of Giordano, you have helped the brand reach out to 35 countries and have 2,000 stores. And his remarkable journey is marked with innovation, resilience, an orientation towards people, and a vision that has kept Giordano evergreen and relevant in the markets even after all these years. So I'm hoping, Ishwar, that you can share some knowledge with us today on that.
Thanks, Lalaine, and thank you for reminding me about all those information. Sometimes I forget. I'm actually particularly proud of building Giordano from inception, and today we now employ 700 team members from over 35 nationalities.
That's
you know.
amazing.
Cultivating a very strong company culture has been very instrumental to our success. Our focus on relationships and customer opportunities and experiences allowed us to thrive in the retail landscape. This has actually given me the adrenaline to continue expanding our business and create growth and opportunities for our team members. As a company, we hire always from the bottom. We use the reverse
I love
funnel.
that. I love that.
We don't hire from the middle or top management. Everybody starts at the bottom, and whenever we need senior level manager appointments, we first look inside. And that has helped very well because it has also created a lot of opportunities for the people in the company, and they have something to look forward to.
Yeah.
So our success stems from two things, simplicity and culture. By keeping our operations simple, we provide value and convenience. Our strong company culture and focus on customer engagement sets us apart. Yeah. Simplicity, it is from simplicity that all our values follow. By keeping things simple, we streamline our operations, we make it more nimble, we make it more flexible, and that allows speed to happen. And speed is very important because it saves people time, and time is value.
Of course.
So if we can consistently offer our customers the convenience of knowing where to get their basic apparel problem solved, this is service that we provide.
Yeah. Ishwar, let me just interject there. Simplicity and people orientation, right? These are the success factors. I am so amazed how that really relates to how the Giordano brand is. Because when you see the Giordano brand, it's really about simplicity and an orientation towards people, right?
True.
Is this by design, or is this something that the company has stumbled onto, through the years, or was it there right from the beginning?
Well, Giordano's philosophy on simplicity has always been there.
Yeah.
Limited menu, easy mix and match, the colors. We don't really go extreme fashion. It's all about trends and what our customers are looking for. Giordano has been built and earned the respect where we are today. The other day I came across a saying that it is first easier to gain the trust before asking to be loved.
Of course, yeah,
So,
definitely.
and I believe that in the 30 years, our growth has been because of the trust that we have built. Customers know they can come to us for what they need. And apart from simplicity, culture is very, very important. I feel that it's our biggest competitive advantage.
I love that. I love that, yeah.
Our competitors can steal our products, our services, our employees. However, they can never steal a great company culture.
I love that,
And that's
yeah.
something within Giordano that we are really proud of.
Yeah. And I think this is such an important lesson, especially for people out there who are trying to develop their brand and, who are trying to keep relevancy in what they do. And make sure, we always preach, right? Develop your brand, but make sure that whatever you're promising has to filter through not just on your products or not just in the customer experience, but also internally. And I think you guys are a true reflection of that.
Very true. And also the most important, sometimes when you already are consistently delivering your brand in the market, why should you change and be somebody different? Like many people get lost in between. They add too many things. It's like me. Everybody knows me as Ishwar. Why should I paint my hair gold or wear a stud?
That's not you.
Yeah. So same thing, like people say you need to have colors, you need to have baggy, you need to have extreme fashion. It's not us. Then finally we get confused. We confuse the customers. So then you need a white shirt, you need a polo, you need a pair of wrinkle-free pants, you need something for children's school. You come to Giordano, that's what you'll get.
These are the staples. These are the building blocks.
Yeah.
How does a brand like that keep on innovating? And it's probably not easy because you're all about simplicity in a world where everybody's trying to be cool, trying to be different, trying to be unique. So how do you approach the challenge of staying relevant? How does Giordano do this?
It's not that easy because the ever-changing market dynamics, the customer buying pattern, customer
Definitely.
loyalty, rising costs of doing business, the emergence and growth of online shopping will all provide challenges to each and every retailer moving forward. The retailers that will survive are those that understand their customers, and know what service they will value in store. There is no single magic formula that works for all retailers. The way forward is for us retailers to understand the importance of connecting with our customers. The future of retail will be around the experience economy, where what we sell is less important than how we sell it. So we should forget about product differentiation. The future of retail will be about distinct experiences. And if we can create one, we will establish a long-term relationship with our customers. So creating that experience from the time they come in to the checkout counters, to the team discussing with them, to the information provided to them on the products. So that's very, very important. And for us, to continue to stay ahead, we will need to continuously innovate, bring in product development, continuously engage with our customers, use technology to bring in change and provide value at all times. Retail will always be a people business. Trust is vital, and technology is just an enabler. It's not the other way around. So that's something very, very important.
I love the way you're putting this, that retail is a people business, right? Because for other companies, it's all about the numbers, it's the sales, it's the market penetration, how well are we doing against competitors. Sometimes people forget about the whole, impact of people and culture. Tell us what innovations Giordano has instituted in recent years to keep up with the market.
Well, like I said earlier, that our competitors can really copy everything that we do except our culture. But in my 46 years in retail, I've learned that the key to survival is not assets, not funds, not systems, not processes, but people and their attitude. And to continue to exceed customer expectations, brands or even us must ensure customer interactions are rooted in empathy, engagement, and emotional intelligence, areas that have not been talked about enough. So, sometimes it's all about emotional, it's all about how human beings think. It's always not the physical part. So we have to also look at that.
I like this. So this is really the flip side of what other people are doing. Sometimes it's all about social media and the technology and all these other fancy stuff, right? But here we're saying basics, people, culture, how people relate to each other, and how that customer experience is affected.
True.
Definitely. So e-commerce has been such a big deal, and I think after the pandemic happening in 2020, with so many people shifting to e-commerce, and I think there's still a huge portion of the population who would rather shop online and not in the shops anymore, not in the malls anymore. How did you guys convert into this type of business?
Well, first, especially in this part of the world, e-commerce is important, but it should just be part of your business. We shouldn't get carried away by it that it will take over the business. Like for us, in certain markets in Asia, we can be over 50% online. In the Middle East, we are still only 10% because over here the malls are everywhere. Accessibility, people come and we're almost in every malls. We have adapted to the digital transformation by expanding our online presence and optimizing the customer experience. We fast-tracked that during COVID when everything was shut. And today our sites are up and running. We have our own in-house brand. We work less with third-party sites and focus more about our in-house sites. E-commerce for us is complementary. Like if you can't find something in the shop, we will make sure it's delivered to you at home. You can shop from your home, pick it up from the stores. So we try to offer all the benefits of online shopping, but with keeping in mind the customer convenience in mind. And moving forward, we have also maintained our brand identity by focusing on quality, timeless styles, customer-centric values, and ensuring that these principles translate well into the online shopping experience. Apart from online, we have also accelerated our digital presence through social media into different like LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok. And apart from that as well, we have our global customer program called World Without Strangers. We have 10 million members globally.
Wow, that's amazing.
We have over 600,000 in the Middle East. They make up to 40% of our total business.
That's amazing.
So we continue to engage with them electronically.
And this is loyalty through the years, right?
Yeah.
This is not like yesterday's target audience.
No, this is from 2007.
Imagine.
And it's your mobile number. So when you go to Hong Kong, you go to Singapore, and you're a World Without Strangers members, you won't get the points in that market, but in most markets, you'll also get the same benefits and discount because your number is in our central database. Yeah.
Ishwar, do you think a purely e-commerce business will ever succeed like a business that is able to touch people, personally?
It will, but I don't think in the apparel business. Maybe like phones, electronics, you're selling services.
Yeah.
But in apparel, it's always going to be the shopping experience in the stores, the interaction with people, trying the clothes, all that. Online supports that, is complementary. You try it in the shop, you buy online. You look at it online, you try it in the store. So it's both ways.
If there are a lot of entrepreneurs out there who are only having resources for an e-commerce business, how can they emulate what you guys are doing in Giordano, even if it's just an online business that they are having? What can they learn?
Keep it simple, keep it focused, and don't be all things to everyone. Identify your strengths. For us, we always believe in the 80-20 principle. Where
Okay.
actually our top 20 make up almost or your top 20% of items make up almost 70 to 80% of your business. We have to make sure that in our top 20, we always have those items. A basic white shirt, a polo. So once your focus is in that, you don't have, if you have 100 items, put 80% of your focus on the 20% and the balance down.
Yeah, it's crazy because if you have so much inventory, so many SKUs, it's really difficult, right?
And I remember our chairman, first time when I met him in 1992, his first words to me were, Ishwar, in our business, inventory should always be an asset, never a liability. And up to today, it resonates.
That's true. Something to remember. Yeah.
We have one of the best inventory records in the market. Even the number of stock, our obsolete stock is less than 5% at any given time.
That's
Because
amazing.
we believe that inventory should be fluid, and when you buy, you start by when you work on your budgets. You know how much you're selling. If you're selling 50,000 a week, why should you bring in 70,000?
Exactly.
So it should be a continuous process.
That's amazing, yeah.
Sometimes we don't use the word warehouse because warehouse is to store. We call it a distribution center. And our chairman always believes sometimes of the zero warehouse.
Yeah, that's a
And
good way of
and
thinking
as
about
a group,
it. Yeah.
we are not allowed to have more than 10% of our total inventory in our distribution center. If we have more, then they won't ship to us. So
That's
it
very
becomes a
smart.
discipline, and we all have to be a bit more disciplined and aware. So we need to
Definitely.
clear that before more stuff come in.
That's very smart. Ishwar, what about the people factor? How can purely e-commerce businesses even just a little bit emulate what you are doing? What's the advice there?
I guess it's all about your relationship with your people, relationship with the customers, how you treat them, the culture within the company, the culture for growth, the culture of respect, transparency, openness. Our office, it's been, 30 years, but no doors are closed. My door is always open. Accessibility. All the employees are connected by WhatsApp. They can communicate from the ground up. It's not always going to be from the ground up to down. It should be down to up because that's where you learn a lot. I spend a lot of time in the stores. In fact, I'm in the office in the morning. Evening, I'm in the stores, walk the malls, talk to my team. If an area manager or senior manager is there, I walk with them. I try to find out more about them than the business. And then we have lunch together. And I learn a lot more that way because you're down on the ground, you're with them, and it makes them open up. Sometimes if you just sit in the office, everybody thinks it's a glass ceiling, we're not approachable, and nobody speaks up. They think I'm God. Everything I say, they will accept. But by going down, even if I
Yes.
see something not right, even if I have to pick up a piece of paper, serve the customer, then they realize, they call me IC. IC is here, but we shouldn't worry because he's part of the boys.
Of
or part
course,
of the
that's amazing.
Not boys, but part of the guys.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I love that. And so really being accessible. And when you say people-oriented, you have to walk the talk. And with that, let's take a break here just to acknowledge the great people of Rove Hotels who keep on supporting us. Thank you, Rove.
Thank you.
This is Challenger Brands. Please subscribe to our channel and share our content. Follow us on our agency's social media pages, Illustrado.co, on LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook, or subscribe to our newsletter via our website, www.illustrado.co. Thank you to our sponsors for today's episode. Rove Hotels. Rove Hotels are a jumping-off point for city explorers, simply designed for the young and young at heart. Born in Dubai, Rove is an award-winning lifestyle brand offering well-designed hotels, fuss-free service, and great value in well-connected locations. More than just a bed for the night, Rove provides rovers, the missing link to connect you to the city like a local, and explore the track less trodden in a relaxed environment where you can be yourself. With sustainability, local art, and high-performing functionality at the heart of its brand, Rove represents a new niche of hospitality for the digital nomad looking to become part of the neighborhood, even when they're just passing through. Please check them out at rovehotels.com.
Ishwar, now this is a big question, but if you can distill this for us, what are the key factors that have contributed to Giordano's longevity and consistent growth through all these years?
I think the most important is understanding customers and creating enjoyable shopping experiences. That's very crucial. Building trust, delivering on promises, adapting offerings to match customer needs are key factors to continue to be relevant in this business. I quote a Chinese proverb that says, to open a shop is easy, to keep it open is an art. At Giordano, for the last 30 years, every time we meet, we look at 3 points that every business or retailer should think about. Number 1 is identify what's important. Number 2, make old new again. And number 3, make it obvious. So we have to keep reinventing ourselves.
Can you repeat this again, please?
Number 1, identify what's important.
Identify what's important.
I'll give you an example.
Okay.
Many years ago, our chairman was here in December, and we were walking the malls, and he said, Ishwar, what do you notice? I said, lot of people. He said, no, what do you notice? What are they wearing? Don't you see that even in winter, more than half the people wear shorts? We went around the mall. Nobody highlighted shorts except at the back of the store. Said, next week, I'm sending you 10,000 shorts in December.
In winter. That's amazing.
Winter, put it in your window and have jackets on top. I begged. I was not confident.
Yeah.
Finally, they agreed 5,000. It would take a month, maybe more. We sold it in the first few weeks. So we have to keep identifying what's important. Number 2, make old new again. How can we keep selling polos over and over again?
Exactly. How many years have you been selling polos,
so it's
right?
embroidery, it's fabric, it's tech fabric, microbacterial. Now we have the liquid touch, the soft touch. And number 3, make it obvious. We have 2,000 stores. And that's how we make it obvious. So look at brands that have reinvented themselves. Even Madonna, Puma, Volkswagen.
Just making it new again.
Yeah, Skechers.
Yeah.
So many brands, Converse. It's just a matter of always asking yourself these 3 questions and applying it as you move along.
I love that. Words of wisdom.
So also retail is a very simple part of a consumer's everyday life, But the retail environment is highly complex. And to survive and thrive, we as retailers have to continuously innovate and vary what we offer to our customers in order to keep attracting existing and new customers. So that's very important.
Yes.
Like even now, we've gone into the sports range. We have jogging pants, we have G-Motion, we have shoes. Recently, we've introduced globally something what we call smart briefs. Because the mindset here, you only wear 100% cotton. But smart brief has also tech, it has modal, it absorbs sweat, it's antibacterial. And we have to convince, but now that people are using it, people realize the comfort. It's also a bit of an anti-wedgie.
That's a great insight there.
And to succeed, we retailers, we need to embrace the challenge of relationships. And that we do by leveraging technology so that we are able to establish and maintain a full omni-channel connection with our shoppers and empower our sales team members to focus their efforts on serving the customer. So technology handles part of the thinking so that the soft skills go to taking care of the customers.
I love that. You're using technology, but your values and the way you think, the way you operate remains intact. Technology is just a vessel, right? After all these years, Ishwar, being so distinguished in the market, not needing to prove yourselves anymore. You've been so consistent with Giordano. What do you think is the legacy of Giordano to other retail brands out there? And how do you see the impact of Giordano moving forward into the future?
Well, after 46 years in the service and retail industry, I have learned that culture is our ultimate competitive advantage. And as I mentioned earlier, people can copy everything you have except
That's
the
true.
culture that you build inside. If you build that great culture, and that's why I pride myself in saying that we have one of the highest retention rates in the market. And people continue because they realize there's always opportunity. Remember, in any business, the key to survival is not how big you are, or assets, funds, systems, processes. And as I said before, it's people and their attitudes. As a leader and our managers, we have to encourage a continuous flow of communication across all levels. We have to continuously share knowledge and learning, and most importantly, empower our employees to take decisions to grow. Because when they grow, we also grow. And I realized that as we were starting Giordano, I was very much hands-on and trying to get involved in so many things that I get to forget the big picture. And now that the team is there, they're actually handling the day-to-day operations. And my role is more on the strategic, and at the same time, I'm there because they know that they can always reach out to us, and that has really helped. It's very important to remember the 3H.
What are the three
Which
H's?
is heart, hand, and head. You need to always have passion, so engage with your heart. You need to have the extra effort and work hard with your hands and apply your head, which is common sense and discernment. You cannot just love something but don't use your head and work for it. It's just like falling in love. You cannot just work with your hand and not think. If you put all three together, nothing's going to stop you, And I also have something else which is called the 4 Ps, which is people first for a company, and then passion comes, then patience and perseverance.
I love
That's
that.
my 4 Ps.
I love that.
The other important point I'd like to share, especially to most business, is that high sales is vanity, profit is sanity, and a healthy cash flow is reality.
Yes.
And why that's very important is sometimes when we tell our staff we incentivize you if you have high sales, they'll just go on discounting.
Exactly.
So we
right?
actually give
What's
the
the bottom
incentives
line?
more on the margins and not on the sales. So that's the reason. Because sometimes you might think you have companies with very high sales and no profit.
Exactly.
But the high sales is just like gives them the natural high.
We see that a lot in highly funded startups, right?
Yes. We don't even know where the valuation comes from.
Exactly. You have been recognized as one of the top 25 entrepreneurs in the entire Middle East by Forbes magazine. After all these years, Ishwar, what brought you to this place that where you are, so full of knowledge and, succeeding in the market? What are the leadership principles that people can learn from you?
Being me. I also have this principle.
Goals.
I also have this principle called HITS. You can actually shift the letters, but I won't say it. So number 1 is humility.
Okay.
Which is H. Number 2 is integrity. Number 3 is T, which is trust. And number 4 is sincerity. And I tried to, in retrospect, always reflect on these 4 words. And in every dealing, every relationship that I have, I keep this in mind. Also, as I said, we always grow from within. So nurturing the growth opportunities for our employees is vital. As a company, we should always have stories for the people who come in, to say, oh, wow, he started on the sales floor. He started in the office today. He's a manager in a country. Everyone who are area managers, everyone who are senior have actually started. I was the first employee at Giordano. I opened boxes. I was the salesman. I was the cashier. I was doing the buying. So that's really important because being there from inception, I understand the full 360 degrees.
Exactly,
So that tomorrow when we have different people, I can also share that experience to them.
Very true.
Also, simplifying our operations and maintaining the omni-channel connection with the shoppers were essential. By empowering our employees, I'm able to focus more on the strategy part. And when we have less layers in the company, it's head office, it's me, the departments, and each group cluster of stores have an area managers. So, decisions are taken. They don't have to go, because in retail, your customers don't care who's the boss, who's running the company. Your customer cares who's there to help him solve the problem. So our people are empowered, even if it's a mistake, learn from it, because if they delay, we might lose the customer. So that's very important. So, We believe that it's very important that the person who already understands the brand, the company, the culture, and the management style is given the importance to grow.
I love that. Yeah.
And from my experience in the stores, I have learned that customers rarely buy from a company. They buy from a person they
Yes,
like, a person
exactly.
they trust,
It's still
a
the
person who
human
is
touch.
a person who's knowledgeable, and a person who delivers what is promised. Customers today still want to engage with the people they know and the people who know them. So I try to keep pushing my staff that each of you should actually have a personal notebook, old school. I'm still very back
Yes,
to
yes.
basis, and call your customers when you have something
Exactly.
new. Invite them
Yeah.
back. It is
Relationships.
Yes, and my firm belief that our people are the biggest asset of our company and with any company.
Definitely.
And number one priority is we must nurture and take care of them to achieve our mission and their future. That's very
I love
important.
how we're hammering on people in this discussion. Now, how does a people-oriented company that is all about delivering goodness view competition? How do you deal with competition, and what's the view there?
Competition, if not for competition, we will not be where we are today, because competition keeps us on our toes. When we entered the market in 1993, we were the only ones here, so it was easy. But as and when new brands came in, today we're competing maybe with 350, 400 new brands. We're competing not just with opposing brands, but competing with many distractions, social media, mobile phone,
Yes.
lifestyle choices.
Cluttered market,
Yes.
very competitive.
But I feel that we are where we are today. We have evolved. I am an OCD when it comes to history of the company. I have all the information, even our interviews from the 90s. I have all that.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's very important that we have to look back to see what brought us here today. And talking about competition, our chairman once was asked, are you not intimidated by the larger
Yes.
players, big stores? He says, it's a big jungle out there. And in this world, you have elephants, you have monkeys. Elephants are big, they may have more, they require more space, more visibility, but they're slower. We're monkeys. We're flexible, we're nimble, we're agile. We would go where no brands may even think of going. In Myanmar today, we have 100 stores. We have gone into Africa, Sri Lanka, Ghana, Bangladesh, Algeria, Mauritius, Egypt. Why? Is because we're very quick in doing that, and because of the simplicity of the brand and not too many complex layers, we're able to take quick decisions for this. So remember, in business, you're never trying to beat the competition. You're actually trying to give your customer something other than what they are receiving from the competition.
I love how we're giving monkeys a good name now, because this is the first time I've heard something good attributed to monkeys. But yes, be a monkey instead of a slow elephant. I
Nimble,
really
flexible,
I really
agile.
love that lesson. Yeah.
And coming back to competition, it's really a waste of time and energy. Losing focus of your business
Yes.
and being scared of the competition,
Yes.
because the customers don't care about the rivalry.
That's true.
Customers just care as how you treat them and what you
Yeah.
offer them.
Eyes on the prize. Focus on what you need to do and do it well, right?
True.
Is there a process within Giordano, or even for yourself, Ishwar, where you stimulate, innovation and evolution? How were you able to evolve the company all these years?
Well, there are many factors that have helped Giordano build our success and distinguish ourselves from our competitors. We have always been a brand that offers value without compromising quality. It is this value that has boosted Giordano's growth and will continue to do so. We always ensure that we combine simplicity, which is one of our core values, with flavor. In other words, we offer simple, timeless designs that are practical and easy to mix and match.
Yes.
And that has always been what we've been doing in the last 30 years. I would also like to emphasize that we adapt our clothing according to what our customers want, not according to current trend.
Yes.
As we believe that being fashionable does not automatically necessitate following the latest trend. And I think this is
Classic
one of our
is stylish,
and this
right?
is one of our key strengths that sets us apart from the others.
So much to learn from Giordano. Now I want to talk about Ishwar the person. Because you and I, we've known each other, for so many years,
Yeah, even
right?
before Giordano, I think.
Before Giordano, I think I met you back in, was it 1990 or 1991?
At Sinbad's.
We are, I'm now showing our age, so it's good. But it's a long friendship, and I appreciate,
Thank
being
you.
part of your network, Ishwar. You're one of the most empowering and friendly people out there who's so generous, sharing contacts, sharing advice, sharing resources. What advice would you give to aspiring entrepreneurs? What's the Ishwar? Now, let's not talk about Giordano. I want to know about Ishwar's recipe for success.
Well, before I go into that, you mentioned the 90s. We actually met at Sinbad's, and I'm sure some of the listeners who grew up in Dubai.
Yeah, they grew up playing in
I will
Sinbad's.
actually
Yeah.
bring you back over 40 years ago, because Sinbad was, I moved to the UAE to set up Sinbad's in 1980. And I'm sure some of you, if you haven't been there for Sinbad, and your parents have been here, I would have met them at the amusement arcade, because it was the first family amusement center here. As for myself, I try to be very disciplined when it comes to clutter. I'm very, very OCD, that even in the shops, I learned that if you really want to know how the stores really perform, you just have to open their cabinets and check. But lately, I moved away from that. I've transitioned from being very overly hands-on to delegating responsibilities
Yes.
as the business grew. The shift has empowered my team and allowed me to focus more on strategy. As the business grew, I also realized that I needed to step back, delegate, and empower my team to take decisions. This gave me time to focus on our strategy and growth.
Yeah.
And also for me, in retrospect, because day to day everything was being handled very well. So it gave me some time to also say, okay, we have come this far, and it's time to give back. So one of the reasons I do this, it's more of like giving back. As I mentioned earlier, growing up, we actually acquired knowledge from school, from our parents, from meeting people. The next phase was experiences. We had good experiences, bad experiences, work, personal life, everything. So that we have gained, and now it's time to give back. So wisdom is part of the sharing. And I think on behalf of Giordano, me and my team and the company always look forward to doing this. My WhatsApp statement always says that it's something like the more you give back, the more it comes back to you, not the other way around.
I love that. And you are the epitome of that, by the way.
I don't believe in getting back anything or receiving anything. I continue to give back, to connect people. I think you've known me for so many years.
Yeah. You just keep on giving and connecting people.
I go out of my way to meet people, because I realize that tomorrow, that same person may be opposite the table that I'm dealing with.
That's true.
Or if somebody wants to know more about me or Giordano, I know that whatever I'm doing is on the right track to build. So stepping back from day-to-day operations enabled my team to become more responsible and accountable, and enabled me to carry the Giordano philosophy and help expand the business into new markets. And at the same time, by speaking here, it's also indirect plug for Giordano.
Yeah. Actually, I need to change the moniker that I always call you, a retail legend. It's also Ishwar, retail legend, and everybody's friend, which is true, right? And I wanted to ask you there again, how do you keep that energy going? Because it's not easy to be always giving to people, especially as an entrepreneur.
Okay.
How do you keep it going?
I enjoy doing it. It's a passion. And when I see people happy, like last night, I attended an event. There were two ladies from the Philippines. They were here with a group of Philippine business people, because I think they came for their golden visa. And they said what we're doing. As soon as the chairman of the Philippine Business Council and someone came in, I connected them. The whole night they were glued. Today they're having lunch. I'm inviting. I get messages in the morning, and I said, "Oh my God, that was just less than a minute to do." You know, so. And then I realized, because that's happened, sometimes you get that back in terms of karma. You know, so, and that's why I keep doing it. It's been 8 years.
I love that.
Next month, the industry event that was started almost 8 years ago still continues because it's really not a lot of effort. In fact, it's more effort when I show up because sometimes I may not be there because when I'm there, I make sure that even the new people, no one's left alone.
I know, yeah.
And it's nice.
That's very you.
I'm enjoying it. enjoying it.
Is there ever a bad day?
Bad day. Well, sometimes if things don't go well, but then I try not to think too much about it and, focus more on. I know I have dimples, so I have to just keep smiling.
So the smile takes care of everything, yeah? You smile here and everything else follows, right?
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes,
Ishwar, looking ahead, what are your hopes and dreams for Giordano and yourself?
Well, to come back, we celebrate 30 years in the Middle East this year, okay? We opened the first store in Burjuman in March 2023. So it's really come a long way. It's a lot of strong local brands, few global brands in the market. It made it easier. At that time, it was easier for us to get locations. So moving forward, the GCC region has all the ingredients to support growth for any growing retail market or any business. We are really fortunate. Right time, right place, the right people. We're very fortunate to be in a very resilient and dynamic market. The GCC, especially the UAE's geographical location, as an international hub, will always be an asset, and the continuous influx of regional and international tourism will keep feeding the growth. Like, if you really see whatever the government is doing now, every day something new. So many a times everybody says it's so difficult to continuously grow. The same business, the rents are growing up, but last year was our best ever and we thought it will go flat. This year, still the growth continues. So it gives not only me but my team a lot of confidence. Because when they see that, sometimes they come to me, hey, this big hypermarket, this big brand is offered, their price is low, how can we compete? But I said, look at your numbers. So it has given them a lot of confidence. Today, they don't even ask those questions.
We're very fortunate.
Any new
out
brands
here.
come in, they don't ask those questions. You know, again, in our business, it is very essential to have a merchant mindset and not a corporate way of thinking. You cannot run retail if you have corporate with too many layers, too many red tape and all. A true merchant, looks at life, trends, culture, and products in a very different way than other people. A merchant is able to get inside the skin of a customer, identify with them, and have that second sense for product that their customer desire. You go to Turkey, Egypt, the souks, they're doing the same thing over and over again. Every time what changes is just the way they display or the merchandise mix. So it's very important because merchants are risk takers on the front end. And the trend is to have the courage to walk away or back off from a product when the numbers say to keep reordering. So merchants know. You don't just keep buying an item
that's true.
Just because, maybe part of it sells, but you need to also see, are the margins high enough? Maybe it's selling because the price is very high. So the willingness to make mistake is all about merchandising, but a good merchant plan for blunders, the profitable ways to get out of the problem.
What about Ishwar, the person, the husband, the father, the community connector? What else is there for you out there? What other dreams do you have? What other things do you want to conquer in the future?
I just want to be myself. I'm enjoying life right now. The family, weekends are with them. And I'm not really looking at too many things. Most important, I'm content.
I love that. Again, simplicity.
Yeah, I'm content with the way things are happening. I'm happy with my team. Everything is going well. Why do you want to ask for more and more when, everything's well? Sometimes, how much do you need? It's not about chasing happiness, but being happy.
I love that,
Being happy, being content. I'm a very chilled person. If you see the way I dress, I have no hang-ups. Even if I have to go to the office in joggers, in shorts, I go to the shops. I don't really have to wear a suit and a tie. For what? For whom?
Just be yourself.
Yeah, be yourself. Just be me. Yeah.
Definitely. So yeah, there you go, folks. I want everybody to remember, like Ishwar said, there are a lot of very nice learnings from this podcast. Please keep it simple and always think about your people, not only your customers, but your own people who are working for you. Culture is key. Now, with that, thank you so much, Ishwar, for joining us today, and thank you for sharing all of those pieces of knowledge. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lalaine, and I hope that I was able to answer the questions, and I'm looking forward to actually learning from my own self when I view the video.
Yes, more than.
Thank
Maybe
you.
Another 30 years in Giordano, Ishwar?
Inshallah.
Inshallah. Thank you so
Thank you.
much, everybody, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Thank
you, Ishwar.
Right, thanks. Bye.
This is Challenger Brands, helping you build better brands and businesses. Hosted by Illustrado, the brand development and creative agency for ambitious and audacious challenger brands.